Okay, Man City won the 2019 Community Shield against Liverpool, 1-1 after normal time, win it 5-4 on penalties. This video is going to look at the Man City players' stats, analysis, match reaction. If you're a Liverpool fan, I did a video that I put on the channel a little bit earlier today, which is purely looking at Liverpool. So please feel free to look at this, but if you want to see the Liverpool side of things, please have a look at the other video. Now, if you're new to this channel and you like this video, we do lots of videos on player analysis, match reaction, a lot of transfer news, and we back things up with stats, so it's not just an opinionated channel. If you do like those sort of videos on Man City and all the other top clubs, Premier League clubs, to keep an eye on them, please click the subscribe button, the red button below, click the notification bell, and you'll be kept up to date of all the latest videos coming out from us. Now, the game, a great game, great intensity, a lot quicker, a lot more aggressive than I expected for a Community Shield. And I think both managers will take lots of positives and some negatives from it. It was very much a game of two halves. Liverpool struggled in the first half, Man City dominated, and then in the second half Liverpool came a lot stronger and City struggled to keep all the possession. But City come away with the win. We'll have a look at some possession and some stats for the teams for Man City to illustrate how the two halves went. Now, on possession, the first half Man City had 58 possession, so they were in control, but that drifted to 47% by the end of the full game. So you can see they didn't have anywhere near the possession in the second half. The shots, 5 in the first half, 8 for the whole game. So again, most of their goalmouth activity came in the first half, although there were chances in the second half. And shots on target, 2 in the first half, 3 in total overall. The passing was pretty accurate throughout at 81% and stayed fairly stable. So that's a quick look at how the two halves went for Man City. So let's go into the player ratings. So I'm going to start off with Claudio Bravo in goal. He was my man of the match for Man City. I'm going to give him a player rating of 8. Lots of saves during the match. Obviously the penalty save against Wijnaldum. He played like a sweeper at times, you know, an old-fashioned sweeper in my day, where he just played behind the central defence, quite happy with his feet, excellent with his feet, and creating those triangles at the back where they tried to play out at the back. So he gave confidence to the team, so he was absolutely outstanding. Ederson must have been watching from the touchline and thinking, oh dear, I didn't think he was going to put that sort of performance in. So an 8 for Claudio Bravo. Kyle Walker next, going to give him a 7. I thought he was good energy, very aggressive. He looked to get forward when he could, although I'd have liked to have seen him get forward a bit more. He had that superb goal line clearance on 91 minutes. If that would have gone in, that would have been game over. So, you know, you could say with that goal line clearance he won the match. So I'm going to give Kyle Walker a 7. Still think there's a bit more to come with him, and he's obviously under threat if Cancelo is signed this week from Juventus. Next one up, we'll do the other fullback, Zinchenko. Going to give him a 6. He had a very busy afternoon. I felt a bit sorry for him. He was coping with Mohamed Salah, Liverpool's best player, and he did okay, but I would have liked to have seen him being a bit tighter on Mo Salah. Didn't do anything drastically wrong, but I just thought he could have been a bit tighter on him. Didn't offer too much offensively, so I'm only going to give him a 6. Now on to the centre-backs. John Stones first, we'll cover him first. I'm going to give him a 6. He had a fairly quiet game, but he was competent, he was assured, didn't really do anything wrong. I thought he did well. It's going to be a big season for him ahead. He had a tidy game really without shining, but I don't think there's going to be any worries for the season ahead with him. I think he's, you know, a fairly safe centre half there to have. Now the other one that was causing interest at centre half because of all the transfer talk about centre half, Nicolas Otamendi. I thought he had an excellent game. Now I've read, you know, and heard reports that people didn't think he was as good as I do. I've given him a 7. I thought he had a good busy game. He was in the right place at the right time, lots of energy. I think there was only one missed tackle. That was on, I think, 86 minutes when Salah skipped past him and the shot was saved. But apart from that, he was aggressive, right place at the right time. And, you know, I would say he staked his claim for a starting place in the season. I don't think he'll get it with Laporte coming back, but, you know, he didn't do himself any harm at all, I didn't think. So we're going to have a look. I'm just going to put up the stats for the defence on screen. So, as you can see, pass accuracy from all four defenders, pretty good there, you know, ranging from 88 to 91%. You can see basically Nicholas Otamendi was the busier of the defenders, 9 clearances, 3 tackles, 1 interception. Zinchenko obviously was quite busy there, a couple of tackles, 5 clearances, 2 interceptions. John Stones illustrates he had a fairly quiet match, and Kyle Walker again, you know, pretty okay match there for him. So we'll go on to the midfield. We'll cover Rodrigo because that's the big player, the big signing that everyone was looking at. Now, I'm going to give him a 6 player rating. I thought he did pretty well, to be honest. First game, you know, not any, you know, too much pre-season there. New team, new system to learn. I thought his passing was excellent, both short and long. He did, you know, he's known as a short passer, but he did do some, I think about 5 long balls through the game, and about 4 of them got to where they got. He did sort of the simple things very well, as you'd expect from a holding central midfielder protecting the back four. However, he does need to improve a little bit. He's got to adapt to the speed of the Premier League, and also the Premier League teams pressing him, and he probably isn't used to people snapping at his ankles as much as what he got in the Community Shield. A couple of times he had bad control, lost the ball a couple of times. I mean, the odd misplaced pass, but overall I thought he had a reasonably good first game, and I can see the class there. Yes, he's got to adapt to the speed and the press, but I can see the class there, and I think he'll be fine for the season ahead. Kevin De Bruyne next. He was subbed off on 89 minutes. He looked tired by the time he went off. I perhaps would have just brought him off a little bit earlier, to be honest, and brought Foden on a little bit earlier. But I'm going to give him a player rating 7. His stats don't look great, actually, when you look at it. And so, you know, it's interesting. Stats don't always tell you everything. You know, he had 1 shot, 1 on target. He was busy. He was making runs, particularly in that first half. Him and Bernardo Silva did some great incisive runs and pass. He was cutting open Liverpool a little bit in the first half, so I thought he had an excellent first half. Second half, he tired a bit. Fitness just needs to come on a little bit. Just went missing a little bit at times, but he was still active going forward right up to the minute of him in things. So I'm giving him a 7. You know, obviously he had an injury towards the back end of last season, and he's still getting back to that match fitness, and I think we'll have another excellent season from De Bruyne. David Silva. Next, I'm going to give him a 6. He was subbed off on the 60th minute. He had a really good first half. Poor second half though, and probably why he got subbed off on 60. He was creative in that first half. He was passing incisively in. Occasionally he could have been a little bit more accurate with his passing. Second half he looked tired. And when Liverpool pressed him and started controlling the midfield, he was taking off, and a little bit more fitness for him. So we'll have a look at the midfield stats. I'll put those up on screen now, and it just shows an example of where stats can mislead. So look at the pass accuracy there. You've got Rodrigo 92%, Kevin De Bruyne 57%, and David Silva 76%. Now on the face of that, you'd think that De Bruyne had an awful game. But Rodrigo and De Bruyne, they're both midfielders, but they're playing totally different positions and roles, and the style of play is different. Rodrigo, he's in that sort of sitting in front of the back four, very safe passing, and that. Whereas De Bruyne is you know, taking more chances. He's further up the field. He's trying to create, and that's why you see the different stats there. Rodrigo, I think, had the most touches out of any midfield player, so he got himself involved in the play there with 73 touches. You can see David Silva 29, and that's why he was taken off in the second half. He really wasn't controlling the midfield like he was in the first half. So that's the stats from the midfield. We'll go on to the attackers next. We'll cover Leroy Sané first. I'm going to give him a 6. Hard to rate because he was only on the pitch for, I think he was injured after about 8-9 minutes, taken off sort of 12, 13 minutes. It's hard to judge him. A few conspiracy theories. Did he really want to go off? Was he looking for an injury? I don't know. I think he did take a little bit of a knock, but my view is he looked perfectly happy to be going off the pitch and down the tunnel. So we'll watch his transfer closely this week. Gabriel Jesus obviously came on to take over from him, so played nearly a full game. I'm only going to give him a 5. I was a bit disappointed with him. I don't think he expected to play that many minutes. He didn't contribute enough. Obviously played in the Copa America, so he's not had enough pre-season, not match fit, not sharp enough yet. So just not enough there from him. Bernardo Silva, I'm gonna give him a 6. I'd like to give him a 7. But superb first half. He was linking up with De Bruyne. He was creating some lovely triangles, really nice passing. He controlled it. He just looked an absolute class player as he is. Second half, when Liverpool got a little bit more aggressive with him, he struggled a little bit in that second half, I thought. But overall, he is just a really good creative player, a class player. Really enjoy watching Bernardo Silva. And then the last forward, Raheem Sterling, I'm going to give him an 8. I gave the man of the match to Bravo, but Raheem Sterling was up there really on an 8 with him. He got the goal. A good goal that was. I was surprised Alisson didn't save it. He looked sharp. He was going past players. He was taking on the fullbacks. He started in the centre. More went to wide when Jesus came on. But he did look. I thought he was their best outfield player, whether he played centrally or wide. And he's going to be a real handful again in the Premiership. He just drifted away a little bit in the second half. But overall, I think you can be really pleased with his performance. The subs, Gundogan, give him a 6. I thought he did okay when he went on. Bit pre-season rusty, not enough time to see him, but probably didn't get involved enough. And Phil Foden came on 89. Like I say, I would have liked him come on a little bit earlier. And it's not really fair to rate him. So there's all the player ratings. Good start for Man City, trophy in the cabinet, but you can see from the match Liverpool and Man City are going to be neck and neck again, I think, throughout the season. And like I say, there's positives for both managers to take from the game. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, if you give it some support and like and subscribe, let me know in the comments what you thought of my player ratings, if you agreed, disagreed with them. Apologies for the light on the video. The sunlight keeps coming in and out, so apologies for the quality on that. Thank you once again for watching.